5, 4, 3, 2.
Hi, you guys. Got a little bit further into the iCarly song. We're gonna do our review sheet number 3 right now. But I want to tell you what people should be doing if they can't print things out when the quiz is tomorrow. They should make this chart like this on the same length of the paper, so it's easy for Miss Golly to correct. And then they should make the next one like this with 2 more to go. And then, of course, they should make these 3 next. So that's what you should be doing, hopefully, when you're doing all that, so that this way it's easy for Miss Golly to correct. Okay, so let's get started on this review sheet. As you can see, this is a review sheet number 3, which is a quiz from 2015, but it's our 3rd review sheet of 2019-2020. So we're going to start with the degree. The degree is the highest of the exponents, so it's a 3, a 3, a 1, and a 0. So that makes it cubic, linear, and constant. So the number of terms are 1 and 2, so that would be a binomial. 1 and 2 and 3, which is a trinomial. 2 terms, which is a binomial. And 1 term, which is a monomial. So when you give these names, it's got to be in the specific order: cubic, binomial, cubic, trinomial, linear, binomial, constant, monomial. You don't go backwards. It's like saying someone's name is Jack Smith. You wouldn't say Smith Jack. Anyway, leading coefficient is in front of that 3 for the cubic is 100. In front of that 3 for the exponent, so there's an invisible 1 there. And some people say, hey, it's 7. It's not 7 just because you see it first. Over here, it's 1/4, and over here, non-applicable. So when we're going to add and subtract these two, the negative is going to distribute, the negative is going to distribute, and the negative is going to distribute. So negative 4y plus 7, negative is a positive 5y squared, plus negative 8, plus a negative y squared, plus a 10. You, of course, add your like terms. These guys are like terms. These guys are like terms. Right here, ooh, 3 of them. And does that guy even have a like term? Doesn't look like he has a like term. So we put it in this descending order of the exponents, because if it's not in descending order, we're going to lose a half a point. And I think the 10 and the negative 8 and the 7 are positive 9. And there is that answer right there. Okay, this you could just lift the parentheses. They're all being added. Here's your like terms, and here's your like terms. So you end up getting 6b squared plus 7b plus 8. On this one, I love FOIL, but I think a lot of people are really digging this box method, where they could do 4w and 9 with a 3w and a 7. But you can also FOIL. So if I FOILed, I'd get 12w squared plus 28w plus 27w plus 63. And then when I have that, these would be my like terms. But you would find these in the boxes, wouldn't you? You'd find 27w here and 28w here for your like terms. So that's why it's all somewhere. It's either whether you have it going across, or you have it in the boxes, or you have it going down for this as your final answer. Okay, now on this one over here, you can think of the shortcut, or you say, gee, Miss Golly, shortcut's not my thing. So maybe you can make it x plus 11, and you could just do all the work out. But if you don't do all the work out and you say, hey, I want to do it with the shortcut method, you square that first term and you square this second term, which is 121. And what you do then is you multiply these two together and get 22x but then you double it to 44x. So the reason you're doing it is because you have a binomial being squared. So instead of doing it the long way with FOIL, you say, I'm just going to square them because x times x is x squared. I'm just going to square this because 11 times 11 is 121. So I made a little mistake here. This is 11x here doubled to 22x. Look at me. And if I do make a mistake, I do appreciate it when you guys email me with that, keeping me on my toes while I'm isolated inside my house. Thanks, you guys. So on this one, it's the 13m distributing to everybody. The 13m is going to multiply by the 40m squared, minus the 13m is going to multiply by the negative 10m, or the plus and negative 10, and then plus the 13m times the 8. I made a little mistake here. I already have the minus from here, so I'm going to take away that minus right there. So I end up getting 520m squared. You could use any calc you want, of course, for this quiz. Minus 130m squared plus 104m. No like terms there. Okay. Over here, do you like the shortcut on this one? Do you say, I want to do F plus O plus I plus L, F-O-I-L, when I know that the subtraction and then the addition of the same thing are going to cancel the oi, and all I'm going to get is a FLA. So my FLA is this eyebrow, 36x squared, and my other eyebrow is minus 121. That's my final answer. So on this one, you could do it the long way, where you have the 4x minus 3 times the 4x minus 3, so you get 16x squared, and then a minus 12x, and then a minus 12x, and then a plus 9, giving you 16x squared minus 24x plus 9. The shortcut would be, hey, I'm just going to square the 4x. 4x times 4x is 16x squared. Negative 3 times negative 3 is plus 9. Multiply these two together, but then you have to double it. So negative 24x right there, if you can see it. So I'm going to rewrite it. 16x squared plus negative 24x squared plus 9. Either of the two ways that you guys want to do it. Okay, over here, this one's already written out for us. So when we FOIL, it's 9x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 1, giving us 9x squared plus 6x plus 1. And of course, circle the answer for me so I'm not guessing where all the work is. Okay, now this is where people are making a big mistake on their homework. When you have to multiply 3 binomials together, pick 2 binomials that you want to multiply together first. I don't care which ones they are, I just always pick the first 2. And when I get those first 2, I'm going to get a trinomial out of it. And then I'm going to bring that trinomial over here. And then I'm going to take this binomial and bring it back down here. So if I multiply out this orange one, I get x squared plus 2x plus 5x plus 10. Which gives me x squared plus 7x plus 10. But I can't forget that I've got to multiply it by this guy too, x plus 7. So maybe you want to, I don't know, do you like this little Punnett square that you'll probably use in science someday? Oh, I made too many of them. X and a 7, and then x squared, 7x, and 10. So you get x cubed, 7x squared, 10x, 7x squared, 49x, and 70. And as I've said before, like terms on the diagonal. And then over here, like terms on the diagonal. I have 2 more pages. So that gives us x cubed plus 14x squared plus 59x plus 70 as our final answer that we're going to circle. A lot of people get this one wrong. Make sure you know it. It's on the quiz. So this one is a binomial. Let's predict how many terms we're going to get. a binomial times a trinomial. We should get 2 times 3 terms. We should get 6 terms. When we get those 6 terms, we're going to find like terms in those 6 terms, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're gonna find a way to condense them. You could have done this through the Punnett squares if you want. That would have been fine. But I'll just write it out so I show you a variety of ways. 8x cubed, negative 4x squared, and 10x. 28x squared, negative 14x, and 35. Here's your like terms. There's your like terms. Final answer, 8x cubed plus 24x squared plus negative 4x plus 35. So that completes our page 1. So if we were going to do page 2, I've got to find where my page 2 would be. I think I have it. I have it on the other side of this. So page 2. Now this is where I see people doing a lot of the box method. I know people really like to keep their stuff organized. And I'm going to get negative 4k squared, 3k, and 2, 5k squared, negative 7k, and negative 1. So this gives us negative 20k to the 4th, 15k cubed, and 10k squared. 28k cubed minus 21k squared minus 14k. 4k squared, negative 3k, negative 2. And it's no shocker, we're seeing some like terms on the diagonal, like this. And we're going to add those together. So I've got negative 20k to the 4th that doesn't have any like terms. The yellow ones are 43k squared. The orange ones are negative 7k squared. The blue ones, no, that was the orange ones. And then the blue ones are negative 17k. And then this guy with no like terms, minus 2. Now, what people are doing here is a little different. They're giving me some final number here, and I don't want a final number. I want just an expression as my answer. And the expression is going to be whatever you get when you do t is equal to n times p. So t is equal to 3m plus 2, 3m minus 2, and then you just multiply them together. And that's one of those things where you don't have to FOIL, you just have to blah. And you get 9m squared minus 4 as your expression. So over here for area equals length times width. I called it base times height on the other one. Does it matter? You multiply 4x minus 3, 5x plus 1. You get 20x squared plus 4x minus 15x minus 3. Adding these together, you'll get your area answer. And area is equal to 20. Whoops, I forgot to put a squared there. 20x squared minus 11x minus 3. And over here for perimeter, it's 4x minus 3 plus 5x plus 1, 4x minus 3, and 5x plus 1. I ran out of room going across, so I'm doing a little bit of it down. I'm going to add all of these together, and I'm going to add all of these like terms together, and I'm going to get a perimeter, because perimeter means just going all the way around. So perimeter is final answer 18x minus 4 as your perimeter. If you want to put p equals, that's fine. Okay, then on the last page. So if you were going to make up the last page because you don't have any room or anything, you say, or not room, sorry. If you don't have a printer at home, and I told you guys I don't have a printer at home, so all I need to see is this. I don't even need to see the directions at the top. I just need to see the 6 squares and then just circle your final answer. That's what you have to do when you're doing it for the quiz, or else I can't see this, okay? So this is what this paper looks like right over here. It's not that I had a printer at home, I just had an extra copy of this from last year's materials, because as you can see, this is from another quiz I gave before, so I had an extra copy. So I took the liberty of already plugging the numbers in. So if I had to add f of x and g of x, I just take the f of x function and add it with the g of x function. And this is not squared, I think. F of x is not a squared one. I don't know why I put it. So these guys are the only like terms. So you end up getting 3x squared plus 1x plus 2. Over here, that negative is going to distribute, and that negative is going to distribute. So you're going to get 3x plus 2 plus negative 3x squared plus 2, because the negative is a positive, plus negative 5x squared plus 6. These are like terms, and these are like terms. Does the 3x have a like term? I'm missing an x value, I think. Oh, here it is. Forgot that x right there. So this is not a like term. He's with this guy. So I end up getting negative 3x squared plus 5x. It's not negative 3. It's these two. Sorry. Negative 8x squared plus 5x plus 8 as my final answer. Over here, you just have to FOIL. F-O-I-L. So 9x cubed. Outer, so that was your first, your outer is the smiley face, so negative 6x squared. Inner is positive 6x squared. I guess those guys are going to cancel. And then my last one is my eyebrow, negative 4x. These cancel, and I give you 9x cubed minus 4x, because the middle term's canceled. Foiling over here, 12x squared minus 15x. Plus 8x minus 10. Here's your like terms. That's not a 15 plus an 8. It's a negative 15 plus an 8, which is a negative 7x. So 12x squared plus negative 7x plus negative 10. Over here, just multiplying these two together, and we get 9x to the fourth minus 6x cubed minus 6x cubed plus 4x squared. We could have done it through the shortcut where we just did that shortcut where we squared and we doubled the middle term, but we didn't probably see it. I didn't see it right away. I'm going to make these plus and negative, so that's a negative 12x. So you get 9x to the fourth minus negative 12x cubed plus 4x squared. And now I am on my last problem. So what you do with this is when you have these three trinomials, you are going to pick any two trinomials to multiply together. Sorry, two binomials. You got three binomials, so you take the first two binomials and you get some trinomial here. So when you multiply that out, you get 6x squared minus 17x minus 14. Now if you want to know where that middle term came from, it came from 4x and negative 21x, so that it adds up to that negative 7x. That's a foiling. Then you bring this guy down and you get 3x minus 5. So you could do the 3 by 2 here, or you could just triple distribute each time. I end up getting 18x cubed minus 30x squared. Then when I distribute the 17, I get negative 51x squared plus 85x. You guys notice I'm putting the like terms under each other. Then when I get negative 14 times 3x, I get negative 42x, so I might as well start that under its like term, and then negative 14 times negative 5 is positive 70. I'm going to now add these together. This has no like term. I get 18x cubed minus 81x squared plus 43x plus 70. And that is your final answer, which you guys will circle for me. And that is the last of our review sheet, so that we can have our quiz tomorrow, which is going to be Friday. So I'm giving you this on Thursday, and then you guys are going to have your quiz on Friday. And you'll email me with any answers. Okay, good luck.